Have you been feeling like your body shifted into something unfamiliar and nobody gave you the instruction manual? Your sleep changed, your mood changed, your cycle changed, maybe your weight changed as well. And when you try to describe it, the words do not quite come because nobody prepared us for this moment. In this video, I'm going to cover 3 things. Number 1, what perimenopause actually is and when it begins and what's happening. Number 2, what is happening to your hormones and why it affects everything. Number 3, symptoms that are completely real and normal but rarely discussed. And I will leave you with some practical action steps you can take this week. Research links are always in the description below. Let us get into it. What is perimenopause? Let me start with the word itself because it confuses so many of us. Perimenopause is not menopause. Menopause is a single moment in time defined as 12 consecutive months without a period. Perimenopause is everything leading up to that point. It is the transition period, the years, sometimes many years, during which your body is gradually moving towards that change. And here's what surprises most women. This transition can begin in your late 30s, quietly, without a big announcement. It's a quiet transition, and there is such a wide range of symptoms, and it's going to show up differently. Different people are going to present differently in different cultures, in different bodies, and in different existing conditions. Research published in 2024 confirms that the STRO criteria, which is the international framework used to define reproductive aging stages, identifies perimenopause as beginning with persistent changes in menstrual cycle length. Your period becomes irregular, the gap between cycles may change, and eventually periods become less frequent until they stop altogether. But here's what that same research also confirms. There is no single blood test that definitively diagnoses perimenopause. Hormone levels fluctuate so drastically during this time that a normal result on paper can coexist with very real symptoms in your body, which is why in the last video we talked about how some women are being told that their blood results are fine but they don't feel fine, which means your lived experience matters. Your symptoms are clinically relevant. Let's take a look at what's happening to your hormones. Your 2 primary reproductive hormones are estrogen and progesterone. For most of your adult life, these 2 hormones have allowed a predictable rhythm, rising and falling in a pattern that regulated your cycle, your sleep, your mood, your metabolism, and much more. Protected your heart, protected your bones, and protected your brain. During perimenopause, that rhythm becomes unpredictable. Research shows that women in the menopausal transition experience substantial day-to-day variability in estradiol, which is the primary form of estrogen your body produces. On one day, your estrogen may be at a relatively normal level. The next day, it may drop significantly. And your body, which has depended on that hormone for decades, responds to every single fluctuation. That fluctuation is why perimenopause can feel so erratic. You may have a week where you feel completely yourself, and then the next week you do not recognize what is happening. That is not you losing your mind. That is your hormones doing something genuinely unpredictable because of that transition. Progesterone also begins to decline during this transition period. Progesterone has a natural calming and sleep promoting effect. As progesterone drops, many women notice a specific pattern. They still fall asleep without much difficulty, but they wake up in the early hours of the morning, unable to go back to sleep, waking up at 2 and 3 a.m., having racing thoughts, heart pounding. That is progesterone withdrawal. And as both of these hormones fluctuate and gradually decline, they affect ripple across your entire body, your entire life, not just your reproductive system, but your brain, your bones, and your heart, your skin, your metabolism, your mood, and all of it connected to these hormones. This is why perimenopause can feel like so many different things happening at once, because it is. There's so many things happening at once, and it's okay. Give yourself grace, give yourself kindness, compassion. It's okay. Things are happening, but we are also moving along with joy, because we are the joy to our generation. That's right. Type in, I am the joy to my generation. Leave in the comments, I am the joy to my generation. Symptoms nobody talks about. Most women have heard of hot flashes, but perimenopause is so much broader than that. A 2025 survey of over 1,000 women in the United States and Canada found that despite feeling somewhat familiar with the word perimenopause, most women did not understand its timing, its duration, or the full range of symptoms it causes. They knew the name, they did not know the reality. Here's what the reality looks like. The classic symptom is hot flash, experienced by most women going through this transition, and severely disruptive for about 1/3. Some women have hot flashes for a year or two. Others experience hot flashes for a decade or more. But beyond hot flashes, women commonly experience disrupted sleep, mood changes, increased anxiety, brain fog, difficulty concentrating, joint pain, changes in libido, vaginal dryness, skin changes, weight disruption, and fatigue that does not resolve with rest. A 2024 quality of life study of perimenopause women found that nearly 71% had poor sleep quality, 59% had anxiety symptoms, and 69% had depressive symptoms, all during perimenopause. These are not signs of weakness. These are documented, researched, real consequences of a profound hormonal transition that your body is navigating, often without adequate support or information. Our healthcare systems and education systems have not been set up to equip us to learn about this universal transition that every woman, if they live long enough, will go through. So this is another limitation of our medical system, our healthcare system in general. But I'm really grateful for the education and the ability to take extra certifications and learn more. So now we arrive to your action steps this week. Here is one practical step from today's video. Start a symptom journal. It does not have to be complicated. Just a note in your phone for the next 2 weeks. Write down what you're experiencing, what the symptom is, when it happens, how long it lasts, and how it affects your daily life. And this does two powerful things. First, it helps you start to see patterns you might be missing. Second, it gives you specific documented evidence to bring to your next healthcare appointment. Our brain actually doesn't remember the hardest moments. I have a symptom journal for a long time. When I start to notice change in my health, I will just write down, Monday I felt this way, Tuesday I felt that way. Let's say you have been experiencing something and it continues on, the brain can actually normalize that as normal or acceptable, and naturally, psychologically, you may actually undermine that symptom when you go talk about it. And I've seen this in my own practice where people just say, I haven't been resting well lately, I have been tired lately. It just sounds like something that's just been happening. There is no impact around it. But then if you tell me, I've noticed that I haven't been able to wake up feeling rested for the past 2 weeks. I started for the past 2 weeks and it has affected my function. It has affected my day-to-day function and my home life and my work life. You can now tell me some of the impact, and based on those impacts, I can actually connect it back to specific root causes, and I'll be thinking about different pathways because of the impact that it's making. So I highly recommend it. If you have not tried a symptom journal, just try it. Write things down. I know that it can be confronting because if you're feeling something like things are changing, it's easy and psychologically a coping strategy to get into the denial mode, because I don't want to know that. It can be confronting. Certain things I'm like, I don't want to know. I'm just telling you that you are not alone. There is a level of empowerment that will come when you write it down. In the beginning, it's confronting. But then when you write it down, just think of it as it's a point of empowerment. You just want to make sure that if you want to get rid of it or if you want to address that specific thing, it will be much easier to address something you fully understand than trying to address something that you're trying to deny. I hope that this is making sense because I have experienced it. It will just help you in receiving the care that you deserve. And if you haven't, you can watch the video that I did last week. I will leave it in the description below, where I talked about some of the strategies, how you can actually present your symptoms with more impact, some communication strategies you can use so that you have a better and more productive dialogue with your healthcare professional in presenting your symptoms. You deserve to walk into every appointment informed and equipped. This is how you start. You start by writing it down. Write without fear. So in closing, I want to remind you that perimenopause is not a disease. It is not a failure. It is not something happening to you because you did something wrong. It is a transition, a profound biological shift every woman who lives long enough will move through in her own way, on her own timeline. It's going to look different for everyone. Even when I share these descriptions, they're captured in research, but even if you don't fit into these descriptions, it's okay too. It's your own story, but we are all going through a transition that will be the common denominator. And you deserve to move through this transition informed, supported, and seen. So if this video helped you understand your body a little better today, please share it with a woman in your life who is in this season and does not yet have the words for what she is experiencing. She needs to know what is happening, and she needs to know she's not alone. Next week, we are going to talk about one specific change that happened during perimenopause that goes far beyond how you feel day to day, what it means for your heart, your bones, and your long-term health. It is a conversation every woman after 40 needs to have. Subscribe so you do not miss it. Research links are in the description below. I'm Joselyne John. Take care of yourself. You are not falling apart. You are stepping into your next chapter. You are not broken. You are becoming. And whatever is changing, now you know why. Remember, you are the joy to your generation. Type in the comments. I am the joy to my generation. My name is Joselyne. I am a primary care nurse with a passion for women's health, hormones, sleep, and staying empowered. throughout the changes that we're experiencing as women. So every week I bring you one particular topic and I break it down in a way that you understand it without the jargon, without the confusion, and then I give you easy to follow practical steps that you can do either to take care of yourself at home or to communicate better with your doctors, advocate for yourself, and stay empowered. And as always, I'll leave you research links in the descriptions of the videos so you can also check out the information for yourself. Knowledge is power, and the more you know, the more you can change. This is also a space where we are all learning together and growing together. One of the things that this channel is going to remind you of is you are not going through this alone. Millions of women are experiencing the changes and they're experiencing the challenges, but together we can actually be solutionists and stay empowered, not just for ourselves but also for the generation to come. The message behind everything I do here is that you are the joy to your generation, and so everything we'll do will empower you through education, through validation, by relating to what you're going through so that you can show up every day confidently and joyfully and be able to carry the weight of your purpose and your mission for you, your family, and generations ahead. You are the joy to your generation, and you realize for us to be joy to our generation, we have to keep our bodies healthy. We have to advocate for ourselves, and we have to show up, and we have to break the cycles, and we have to make it joyful in day-to-day, easy to follow steps, which is why I'm always going to give you something small yet very impactful that you can do to be the powerful woman you are meant to be. Subscribe and share with another woman who would like to be a part of this beautiful and trauma-informed space. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. You are the joy to your generation. In the comments, share something that can empower another woman today. Maybe it's a lesson or affirmation that helped you. We are all in this together.